The Sun, a fiery ball of gas and plasma, hangs in the sky like a beacon of light and warmth. It is the star around which our planet revolves, the source of all life on Earth. But the Sun's importance goes far beyond its beauty and radiance. It is the very foundation upon which all life on Earth is built. From the tiniest microbe to the largest elephant, every living thing on this planet depends on the Sun for its survival. For without the Sun's energy, there would be no photosynthesis, no food chain, no oxygen to breathe. It is only because the Sun sends its abundant energy to Earth 24 hours a day, we are able to have life on our planet. Sun's importance goes beyond just providing energy. It also plays a crucial role in regulating the Earth's climate and weather. The Sun's energy drives the water cycle, creating the rain and snow that nourish plants and animals alike. And its heat drives the winds and ocean currents that distribute that water around the planet, creating the complex weather patterns that define our world. Sun is like a giant battery, storing and releasing energy on a scale that is almost incomprehensible to our human minds. Let's explore the story of how our beloved Sun and solar system came to be. Once upon a time, billions of years ago, there was a vast cloud of gas and dust floating in the depths of space. This cloud, called a nebula, was made up of mostly hydrogen and helium gas, as well as some heavier elements like carbon and oxygen. The nebula was enormous, stretching across thousands of light years, and it was so vast and diffuse that it appeared empty to human eyes. But despite its seemingly empty appearance, the nebula was a bustling place, with countless tiny dust particles and atoms of gas swirling around in the darkness. And, as it turned out, this swirling chaos was the key to the nebula's ultimate destiny. You see, over time, some small disturbance began to rock the nebula, causing the gas and dust to start collapsing inward. At first, the collapse was slow and gentle, but as more and more material began to pile up, the gravity of the nebula grew stronger and stronger, until it was pulling everything inward at a breakneck pace. As the cloud collapsed, it began to spin faster and faster, flattening into a disk shape, due to the conservation of angular momentum. The center of the disk, where the most material had collected, grew hotter and hotter as the material collided and compressed together. It was here, at the heart of the collapsing cloud, that the most incredible transformation was taking place. You see, the material in the center of the disk had become so dense and hot that it had begun to undergo a process called nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is the process where atoms combine to form heavier atoms, releasing a huge amount of energy in the process. In this case, hydrogen atoms were fusing together to form helium, releasing an enormous amount of energy in the form of light and heat. As the center of the disk continued to heat up and fuse, it grew brighter and brighter, shining with the light of 1,000 suns. This was the protosun, the newborn star that would eventually become the mighty Sun we know today. But the protosun was not alone in the disk. Around it, smaller clumps of material were starting to form, each one collecting more and more gas and dust as it orbited the protosun. These clumps would eventually become the planets, moons, and other objects in our solar system. For millions of years, the protosun continued to grow in size and heat, releasing more and more energy into the disk around it. And as it did so, the disk continued to cool and contract, with more and more material collecting in the protoplanets that would eventually become the solar system's 8 planets. At last, after millions of years of growth and evolution, the protosun had become so massive and hot that it reached a state of equilibrium, where the force of gravity pulling material inward was balanced by the pressure of the energy being released by nuclear fusion in its core. And so, the Sun was born, a bright and shining star at the center of our solar system. Today, the Sun continues to shine, powered by the same process of nuclear fusion that created it so many billions of years ago. It is the source of light and warmth for our planet, and it provides the energy that drives the complex web of life on Earth. And while the Sun is just one star among billions in the vast expanse of space, for us here on Earth, it is the most important star of all. And yet, for all its power and majesty, the Sun is also fragile. Recently, while observing through the lens of the James Webb Telescope, scientists bore witness to a stunning event in the cosmos. It appeared that a segment of the Sun had broken off and tumbled down from its celestial throne, as a colossal tentacle of plasma forcefully ripped away. The aftermath of this cosmic occurrence reportedly stirred up a ferocious polar vortex near the North Pole, an awe-inspiring display of nature's power. This detachment of solar material persisted for around 8 hours, leaving the scientists awestruck and pondering the mysteries of the universe. And as we continue to alter the composition of our planet's atmosphere, we risk disrupting the delicate balance that makes life on Earth possible. So let us never forget the importance of the Sun, and the incredible gift it gives us every day. As the great writer and naturalist John Muir once said, "The Sun shines not on us but in us. The rivers flow not past, but through us." For every living thing on Earth, the Sun is not just a distant star, but a vital part of our very being. As the great cosmic clock ticks relentlessly onward, the Sun, that bright, life-giving star at the center of our solar system, is slowly but surely approaching the end of its days. In a few billion years from now, as the Sun exhausts the vast majority of the hydrogen fuel that powers its fusion, it will begin to swell into a bloated, red giant, enveloping the inner planets, including our own dear Earth, in its fiery embrace. As the Sun expands, it will grow hotter and brighter, causing the oceans to boil and the atmosphere to vaporize, and rendering our planet a barren, lifeless wasteland. The once blue sky will turn an angry red, and the very surface of the Earth will begin to melt and disintegrate under the searing heat. But the worst is yet to come. As the Sun's fuel runs out completely, it will shed its outer layers and collapse in on itself, forming a dense, ultra-hot object known as a white dwarf. The heat and radiation emitted by this dying ember of a star will continue to roast the remaining planets, including what's left of our poor, doomed Earth, for eons to come. In the end, as the universe grows ever colder and darker, the last flicker of warmth and light from our Sun will fade away, leaving behind nothing but an icy, lifeless void, and a memory of the once great star that gave us life, and ultimately took it away. And as we go about our daily lives, let us always remember the debt we owe to that great ball of fire in the sky, and the incredible power and beauty it brings to our world. Thanks for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe.